Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Let's get right into the analysis. So we have CPI tomorrow. So that is important because technicals can go out the window, but I am going to point out what the technicals are suggesting throughout this video. So on the daily time frames, we have doji candlesticks on SPY and QQQ, which makes sense since, again, CPI is tomorrow and the market participants at least are most likely just sitting on the sidelines, waiting to see what happens. Waiting to see what their next move is going to be. Now, the next move, it could push you up, it could push you down. Now, let's get into the rest of things. We're going to start off here on the hourly time frame. I'm going to point out price is stalling out right here at our zone, 44111. Top of that zone is 441.45, we'll call it. If you can get an hourly close above here, then you do have a shot at going up here. But again, you're going to have CPI tomorrow morning, and it's either going to beat, it's going to be tame, or it's going to be a miss. If it comes in tame, or if it's a beat, then I expect, you're probably going to see prices climb. If it is a miss, you could come all the way back down here to the bottom of this range here that you were trading in right now, which is the demand zone down at 439 to 438. If you do end up coming all the way down here, breaking that, then you could come all the way down here to 435. To 430, yeah, just about 435. Jumping on over to QQQ, you are again just stalling out right here at our supply zone. I'm not saying that you can't, it does look bullish to me. I'm not saying you can't, see birth these technicals and see this thing rise up here to the next zone up at 370. But if you get that miss, that is going to go out the window, and you probably are going to see a pretty filthy gap down if you do have a miss. And yeah, the next spots are really going to be down here at 364 to 365. And then if you really do see a filthy gap down, then you're looking all the way down here. But I'm going to be honest. I don't think you are going, you wouldn't be gapping down all the way down here. But if you gap down underneath the zone, the next stop, you're going to have to hold right here. And if you do not hold 362-ish, then that would be the next stop. So no, I do not expect it to be a 2% gap down. That would be kind of, or a gap up. I don't think it's going to be super crazy. But yeah. Now, let's point out why I don't really think that we are going to see much more downside from here. All right. So on Apple's 4-hour RSI, I'm going to point out the same thing I did in yesterday's video. We have something new. All right, you do have this bullish divergence going on over here on Apple, and I'm just going to let you know, if you do continue further down tomorrow, let's say you do have that miss on CPI, I do think it is just going to be a buying opportunity. I think price would probably come all the way down here 185, and that is where I will at least personally be loading up on some dated calls, considering you don't see this. And as long as we are in an uptrend, which we still are in an uptrend, that would be your last low that you have to hold here. All right. As long as you're in that uptrend, all dips are going to be buying opportunities. The same over here on SPY and QQQ. Actually, something I did not mention is that SPY over here is in this upsloping parallel channel. So if you do reach the top of it, it's going to align with our supply zone right up there. That starts at 442.60. So that's where I'm watching for sellers to step in. If we do end up seeing an end of the day push, and I'm just going to let you know, if you do see an end of the day push and you guys are sitting in calls, it would not be a bad idea at all to take some profits on those calls, considering you are running into CPI. And if you load it down here in our demand zone, again, I mean, even without CPI tomorrow, that would be a great place to take profits. You have nothing telling you the price is going to bust up through this. Do I think the charts look bullish? Yes. All right. Price clearly is just coming back up to this spot right here. So if you do come up, there is a chance you do end up breaking it, but there's nothing telling you. So you want to wait for confirmation on that. Same look that we have over here on IWM. You are at the top of your range. I will say, we did get the 15-minute close above. And if you ended up taking profits in here, you could have missed out on all this chop. Yes, it's higher than that, but you would have missed out on the stress that this zone would have caused you. All right, so you are at the top of the range now. If you loaded up at the bottom of the range, congratulations. There you go. Let's look at the next point of resistance, which we're going to come over here to the daily chart for, which will be right up here at 190, 150 to 192. So just put a zone, and this is why I recommend, even if you're going to have these support and resistance lines, you might as well put a zone on there so you get the full picture. Because say you started breaking above here. Well, what if you didn't break above the zone and then boom, you get slammed back down. But yeah, now that we broke out here, guys, that is going to be the next stop. I'm not saying price goes straight there. You could come back. You could rise a little bit, come back for a back test here. Let's go down to the 15-minute chart. Maybe you see something like that. I don't know. But regardless, that is going to be the next stop. Over here on QQQ, all right, I do also want to point out, all right, not on QQ, I'm so sorry, NQ. That is what I wanted to point out. All right, if you do end up seeing this dip, I will just point out right here that you would probably see your 4-hour RSI just come all the way back down here. And then again, that would just be your buying opportunity. And this is what I'm saying. Even if you get a gap down on CPI, I think it is going to be best used as a buy the dip opportunity over here on not SPY, ES. All right, so the S&P 500 futures over here. Guess what? If you do end up seeing that gap down, you very well could just see your RSI come back down here, and it would be what I pointed out in yesterday's video. Which, where were we in yesterday's video, guys? We were not all the way up here. I was telling you, I think I mentioned, it was either you, I mentioned it to you guys or the Discord. I was looking for at least a 1% rally off of where we were. I think it was probably in the Discord, but it might have been in that video. I don't know, but that has been fulfilled now. I'm not saying we're going to keep going here, but I was looking for a decent sized rally. And if we come over here to indicators, we could put on the CCI. As you can see, we do have that going on right there. All right, and because that is going on right there, all right, I was looking for the same, not the same thing, but, you know, over here from the bottom of that divergence that formed, we had a pretty filthy rally here. That's a 4% rally. You know, I'm not saying we are going to be getting the same thing, but if we do get that, you know, you're coming well above these highs and then some. There you go. You'd actually come up and you would break the current high right there, which would be about 3%. And yeah, you would be off to the races. But that is what I'm really watching. Let's actually put this trend line here. Now that I see that, yeah, we could go like that. Or you could go like, should we do it? Yeah, we'll put it there. All right. But once that breaks, I'm just going to put it there. I'm just letting you guys know. All right. We have that going on in NQ. And then ES, we actually have broken out of the downtrend that I could see right there. So honestly, guys, going into tomorrow, I really do think things are looking rather bullish. Let's actually take a parallel line here. Let's connect it down here. Do we have a little bit of a bull flag going on? Kind of. It's pretty freaking ugly. All right. But it did come with a bullish divergence on the RSI and the CCI there. And the last time we had this RSI divergence over here on the 4-hour time frame, guess what? That's a 3% move to the upside. Again, I'm not saying these things are going to happen, but you would be taken above the high. On SPY, you're kind of in fishy territory right here until you can break above 444. You really do want to break 444 and get a daily close above there, because as of right now, it's just a double top. And that's what I was saying earlier. It could just turn into a triple top. You have nothing telling you that it can't just do that. And if you do end up, let's say we get a miss on CPI and price comes up there and then they sell the news. Well, that would, you know, there you go. So just be on the lookout. That is what I'm watching out for. And I think that is pretty much it. Last thing I will throw out for you guys, because why not? Maybe it can help you guys out with some money, or maybe you are in Baba calls and I'll show you what you are looking for, which it looks like we are going to be getting it right here. All right. You're looking for an hourly close over this trend line. You already have broken out of this, and I'm just going to point out, all right, we're going to go over to forward right now. All right. You see this little, you know, I actually drew this on the weekly time frame. Let's look at that. All right. Yeah, there we go. All right. So you broke out of there, which I guess you can actually just, don't do that. Bring that bad boy up right there. All right. Or we can make it touch all those right there. You came back for the back test and you went off to the races. Let's look at F. All right. What happened over here in F? You broke out. And again, I think this, I also drew it on the weekly time frame. I don't know. Yeah. I was touching to that wick right there. But yeah, you came back and you back tested and then you went off to the races. And from the back test, that's a 30% move. These are just what I'm looking at. All right. There's no guaranteeing this is going to happen. All right. I am just pointing out Baba has finally broken out, and it does look pretty good to me. So that is something to at least, you know, keep on your watch list. There you go. Last thing I'm going to actually point out is Bitcoin. I'm going to point out what I was telling the Discord this morning, which is I don't like what I've been seeing, all right? So we've been range bound, and every time you get up here, some big whale is using it as an opportunity to sell. So either we have this group of whales buying, loading up at the bottom range, and selling it off up here to frustrate people, or they are just literally using this opportunity. You have a lot of whales just continuously selling out every chance they get up here and slamming price down rather aggressively. You can see all of these are super aggressive sells that are going on once you reach up here. So what does that tell me? Something bad. All right, both scenarios are bad. You got either someone just sitting here manipulating the price between the range, which is frustrating until you see a breakout of this range, which I'll let you guys know when that happens. You're looking for an hourly close above this red line right here, which is 31324. It's not exact, but you know, it's up there, 31.3k. We call it that. So you want to see an hourly close above there, and when you do, that is when the next resistance becomes, we can go over to the daily time frame, and it becomes all the way over here. All right, that is at 32k. So let's just go like that, put a little, you know, horizontal ray there. So that would be something to play. But as of right now, I'm just saying price continuously gets slammed down. You can look at this as a bull flag. I'm not saying this isn't going to play out like a bull flag where you would see upward continuation from here. But I'm just pointing out what I thought of. I think I had this thought, last night. And I was just thinking about it. I was like, holy cow, actually, this isn't the most bullish thing in the world. Someone keeps slamming price down every time it gets up there. That's like not something that, like, if I was in Mara Riot, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. All right. But yeah, here on the channel, guys, we did end up calling out Riot, breaking out from over here. I think it was on this day right here. And then we had this day right here. And, you know, the next resistance was going to be all the way up here. And Mara actually broke out from this range. Remember, we called that one. I'm not going to say these were safe plays to take, all right? But, you know, from that candle close right about over here, all right, you did go on a pretty filthy run right there. And once you started getting above here, next spot to be watching was all the way up there, 1850. So it does look like price is going to get up there. I don't see a reason other than Bitcoin getting slammed down that these things would stop until there. Just know, like, hey, if you are playing these things, not a bad place to take your profits. There you go. All right, so with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.